Nicol's Commentary, Volume 3, Quaremead Ugley, October 27, 1945, The Observation of Eyes and States. This is the first video of 2 from this group meeting. Every eye produces its own state, whether or everyone is in a certain state at a certain moment, owing to an eye that produces this state in him or her. If you find it difficult to study different eyes in you, there are 2 things that help. Different eyes are grouped in personalities within the personality. For example, a man has a certain personality connected with his college and quite a different personality connected with his domestic life. These subdivisions of the personality as a whole are themselves composed of many different eyes. On one occasion, Mr. Ouspensky was talking about the difficulty of seeing different eyes and said we should try to see groups of eyes, which might be called sub-personalities. A man goes to his club and he has a certain personality, and then he goes to his office where he has a different personality, and then he goes home where he's in a totally different personality. The other way of studying eyes is to notice one's state. As I said, each eye produces its own atmosphere, its own state in oneself. In viewing any matter, if we have any power of successive observation, we soon recognize that we take in different ways at different times. This is because of the shifting kaleidoscope of eyes. When a particular eye is predominant, we view things through this eye, and the next moment, when a different eye comes up, we view the matter in quite a different way. Now, one can easily become negative or depressed when one begins to notice this in oneself. But this is quite wrong from everything that the work teaches us. We have no real eye, no permanent eye, and have to realize it. We have to see the truth for ourselves. This continual change of different eyes in us is exactly what we're told to observe. Sometimes people say, cannot you make up your mind definitely as to what you think about Mr. X? You like him or not? But this question is quite foolish because it all depends on which eye you are when you happen to meet him. Each eye will induce a different state in you, and in each different state, you will view him differently. Now, if you have begun to have work memory through self-observation, you will begin to know this already. This means that you no longer believe in your momentary different states, that is, in your different eyes, which keep coming up in turn. Eyes cannot be overcome save by self-observation and non-identifying. A person may have the idea that he should really make up his mind definitely, let us say, about Mr. X. I will ask you this question. What is going to make up your mind? Each eye will make up your mind quite differently. That is, each eye will give you quite a different outlook towards him. If you begin to observe your eyes and not identify with him, you will finally get a picture of Mr. X, composed of all the different angles that each eye in you sees. You will then get a composite picture of Mr. X, not a picture based on opposites, but a full picture of him. And I will add that this is quite impossible unless you can see different eyes in yourself. If you have no memory arising from moments of self-observation and self-remembering, you will never be able to get a full picture of Mr. X. And what is the reason? The reason is that you have no composite picture of yourself yet, and therefore are still in imaginary eye whose power over us makes us say I to everything, every eye. As you know, you have to get rid of the idea that you are one unvarying person, and this hits vanity and pride, perhaps even more, especially at pride. You know how difficult it is for a person to admit that he has changed his mind? I think this is pride. You surely all know people, if you don't know yourself already, who think that they are always the same. Such people are living under a delusion. They do not see that Every moment they change, owing a succession of different eyes that come into their conscious sphere and take charge of it for the moment and induce a certain state. Do you remember what was said about eyes and how each eye is a caliph for the moment? After a time, it is possible to reach that stage in the work in which you do not believe so much in yourself as a real person. This is part of the loosening process of the work and gives a form of consciousness that life rarely gives us, that is, a new consciousness that comes through self-observation in the light of esoteric teaching. This consciousness gradually begins to approve the third level of consciousness or a level of self-awareness, or the state of self-remembering or self-consciousness. I can think of no better definition of what self-awareness means than that you begin to be aware of your typical eyes in you, and you do not allow them to become caliph, and you do not identify with the states that they induce.